Hello and welcome to Haylett RV, everybody. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and in case I'm beaming a little bit bigger than normal, it's because I'm excited to get this layout back into our lineup. This is a floor plan I actually helped design from a conceptual standpoint years ago with another manufacturer that we used to carry. In the meantime, they're no longer in our lineup, but in the meantime, I always wanted to get somebody else to build this. And what's really cool is Alpha Wolf looked at it and said, that's a great idea. Freedom Express also has a version of this coming out. So why are people jumping on board with this? And I think the answer is because it solves a lot of the major problems that a rear kitchen normally has. Traditionally, rear kitchens are a little bit longer, they're a little bit heavier. The entertainment center usually sucks in those things. Most of the time it's a 90-degree neck wrecker. I'll give Wildwood credit, they're sticking tin rear kitchen with the Versa Lounge, not too bad, but this one gives us just a straight-on shot from a theater seat with a little, footsie fryer right in front of you, the entertainment center right in front of you. Not to mention the fact, the way that Alpha Wolf has accomplished this one, they have partially addressed the challenge that a lot of rear kitchens have in that they often really struggle with limited travel accessibility. We're actually going to see this thing with the slides closed here in a little bit, like we like to do for you, Hayletts. And there's a lot of good things, like it's got a battery tending solar package. I love the little mini camp kitchen. That ice maker is too legit to quit, by the way. I will also be fair with you. Things like mentioning the fact that you have a camp queen bed instead of a true queen on this one. We will do everything we can to give you a fair look at this one. And again, we now have this floor plan available from a couple different brands. So if the true queen's a real problem for you, we have that in a Freedom Express. But maybe this Alpha Wolf has a couple things that you really like too. That's why I love carrying so many different things here. Now this is a brand new floor plan. This is the very first of these that ever came out. So leave me some feedback. Let us know what you like, what you dislike, because obviously Alpha Wolf is very receptive to input. It was my suggestion that caused them to build this floor plan. Maybe your input can help them make it even better. What I like about these Alphas is how can I say this? They stay in their lane, They know who they are and what they do, and they don't pretend to be more than that. It seems like if you start reading anything from any RV manufacturer, and the way most dealers talk about it, it's like, yep, every camper we got, it's the best one ever. And I have long said that everything's the best in a different way, but that doesn't mean every single thing is the most high-end, flashy, fancy thing you've ever seen in your life. Alpha is very reminiscent to me of the Coachman Apex, in that it's simple where it should be and fancy where it could be. They give us a lot of really nice feels, but they do it on a little bit more of a working person's budget so that Larry Lunchbucket and Jane Sixpack can enjoy a taste of the good life. Now we see that theater seat right here. One of the things I like about this is, again, it's directly across from the entertainment center. Since we're pretty darn close to it, I think that qualifies as a footsie fryer, a little bit more than a Tootsie Toaster, a little higher intensity there. The TV is not standard with these. And in the past, I would have said that's kind of stupid, but I don't know about you, in my house, I have like 3 or 4 TVs that we've upgraded over the years in my basement that I don't need, but I can't get myself to get rid of anymore. Kind of like every dad has a box of like loose RCA cables that you're never going to use, but you know, the time that you get rid of those, you're going to need them, right? I know I'm not the only one that does that, right? Anyway, over here, they made an interesting choice, and I'm very open to feedback on this. They went with a standard table and chairs as opposed to a booth. Now the question then becomes, is a booth available as an option? From what I can see, the answer is no. I have actually put a message into my factory contact looking for confirmation of that. And the reason I question, I'm not sure it's going to be, is look at the size of the windows. You see how they go way down past where a booth would be. If a booth were optional, they are not going to resize the windows just for a booth. That is a very problematic thing for a production line to do for an RV company. That's why I tell people, it's like, RVs are like cookie cutters. They punch the same cookie out every single way, every single day. And you might be able to add a couple sprinkles or maybe a little bit of frosting, but you can't change the cookie. Changing a window is part of changing the cookie. But speaking of windows, the coverage on this thing is awesome. Giant picture window over the door side, double kitchen breeze windows giving you all sorts of visibility, plus the panoramic atrium style windows that we have over here around the dinette. This is amazing. Now, the light colors are really helping, and it's very overcast today, so we're not getting a lot of light pollution in from outside, a little bit. One thing I will say is the kitchen side of the RV, the left-hand side of the screen, feels nice and brightly lit. That side over there, it feels to me like it could use like one more light up on the ceiling or something. Now, you do have the lightsaber light right there above the slide out. And maybe, you know what, when you light that up, it does kind of help balance everything out. I think it is all intended to work together. It's just a matter of which one works best for you. I don't know. It's all a personal kind of thing. Thing though, a rear kitchen, it's going to give you more storage, more prep space than like anything else this size. A rear living room could not hope, a rear bathroom could not hope to match the countertop prep space you get in one of these guys. I'm not even sure where to start. So let's just start from like the bottom and work our way up. Notice those plugs on the side of the counter. Those could be for the kitchen or the theater seat. I'm not going to lie. I'm not blind to things when I see them. This is mounted crooked. We're going to have to see if we can straighten that out. That is the kind of stuff absolutely annoys me. Doesn't affect the use of the trailer. I'm also not going to lie about that stuff when I see it. I'm not going to hide it. And I'm not going to be like, ooh, don't look over here. You know, it's a real thing. It happened. They're not all going to be built that way. This one on camera just happened to be. Plywood drawers down to the floors over here. I like the sectionalized pocket on that top one. The black stainless skirted farm sink, kind of water falling over the edge here, gives us a very nice look. That's one of those fancy where they could be kind of features. And now that sink cover, this is all a sealed edge pressed membrane. Notice how I've got that kind of shoved in that little compartment, just to give you an idea of the size right there. And you know what the problem is with most RV stoves? They're usually shoved right up next to a refrigerator. And RV designers never seem to put a side splash guard on them. They think that grease only flies backwards. You don't have that problem here. You've got that removable cutting board backsplash. You know, it's just simpler and easier that way. They didn't do it on purpose, but it works out. And frankly, as Bob Ross calls it, we'll take a little happy accident when we can get it. Now, if I get down here a little bit, you can see there are some outlets under those overhead cabinets. There's also a really sweet, I'll call that the coffee maker corner. That's the Keurig corner right there. Or, ooh, sorry, I get excited. I'm thinking about bacon and eggs, and bacon makes me excited. Bacon! That is electric griddle heaven, baby. Ooh, now I just want bacon. Okay. Over here, we've got the standard 10 plus cubic foot, 12 volt DC compressor fridge, and behind that, a big old pantry. And you know it's a pantry because they kindly write pantry on the door, just in case you thought it might be the bathroom. Good thing we cleared that up right here. Son of a gun. Every time I do that. Cherokee, why you gotta do me like that? Why is there a door knob that you twist, not a handle that you pull when it's a door that you pull? When you go to a store, the doors say push and pull, there's not a twisting doorknob. Why do you gotta punk me like that? Come on! You get the idea. Believe it or not, this is me without the caffeine. I do like this, though. It's just an extra separate little light. Lets you get in here, see around when you need to. That's some really good pantry space. Now, again, we've got the lightsaber lighting up here above the slide, and that's the light that activates the lightsaber lighting above the slide also activates the lightsaber lighting over there by the little shoe garage. But the entertainment center has its own little bug zapper, which of course you could always just kind of turn off here. Now, this forward wall, see, most rear kitchens, over here is a sofa, over here is a pair of recliners, back there is a dinette, and that would be the entertainment center, which is not usually at a comfortable viewing angle. Well, by moving the entertainment center and whatnot, you know, they didn't need another sofa. Like, why do you need a sofa, two recliners, and a table and chairs for a camper that's frankly designed for two butts? This is a single or couples camper. Why does it need seating for like 8 people? Now, I will say I think rear kitchens are awesome floor plans for entertaining family and friends, but you've got seating for 4 at this table. You want to sit down and play cards? You can still play cards. Instead, do something else with this wall. And by rearranging it like this, what they were able to do is actually shorten the RV. That's one of the secret things in this floor plan. The dinette plus entertainment slide is like, I don't know, not a full super slide, like a 2/3 super slide, if you will. It's a little bit shorter. They were able to save a little bit of length over there. A little bit of length means a little bit of weight, means which translates also into a little less cost. I like what they did. It's different. I think everyone who builds this layout is going to do it a little different. I like the little kind of place where you can come in and, you know, put your shoes on and stuff like that. I don't think that's terrible by any means. I kind of like it. I also think when it's kind of a blank wall like that, you have the opportunity to kind of church it up however you please. Ooh, air conditioner. Standard 15,000 BTU Coleman air conditioner on these, by the way. You don't have to do any sort of upgrades. That is all the Alpha and Arctic Wolves do. Now, down below, you could add some doors or some panels, close that off. Right now, it's just a big old shoe garage. You might notice, too, this has side ducted heating, cabinet ducted heating. So the flooring is ventless. Yes, there's carpet in the slide out over here. Some people don't mind it. Some people would like it to not be there. It's easier to build that way from a production standpoint. And that's kind of one of those simple where it could be facets of this RV, I suspect. What do we, the theater seat over here. So this seat is standard, but check out that middle console right there. It's like a pontoon style removable armrest sort of job. So if you want to convert this into more of a love seat, you can do that too. And if you're the type of person that has to get up and down a couple times a night to use the bathroom, you're going to like how they gave you that dual entry setup on this one. Now, this is not always everyone's preference. Some folks prefer a more rectangular shower and only a single bathroom entry door. Some people prefer a corner shower with a, dual entry like this. Good leg room around that. Good elbow room, too, even on the right side, which I wasn't sure of when I looked at that. That is why we carry different campers here at Haylett RV. The Freedom Express version of this will be a rectangular shower with a single bed and bath entry door each. So, we have different options for you here at Haylett RV. I really do like, though, the Cherokee family, very good about using that bigger vent fan here in the bathroom where I think you could argue it really matters most. Now, the RV is 6.5 foot tall. I'm 6'2", 6'3". So when I stand in that shower, my head has to be in the skylight, but I can make it work. What I do like about this arrangement right here is how it gives us that cabinet right there. And I really like that they threw a shelf in the middle to really maximize the storage capacity of that. I'm at a funky angle to look at the sink situation here, but I think you are smart folks. After all, you tuned in to watch Haylett RV videos today. It might mean that you have good taste in entertainment. It might mean that you need to seek psychiatric evaluation. I don't know. Let's find out. Moving up to the bedroom here. This is a Camp Queen. I know that's going to be a deal breaker for folks. This is 60 by 74. I like to just, if it's going to be a point of concern, let's get it right out of the way. There is storage below it, by the way. I'm just not at a good camera angle to be able to showcase that. If you go with a true queen, the bed will be very, very close to that sliding door that partitions off the bathroom right there. But with the dual entry, I suppose you could get to it from either side. Now, speaking of either side, perfect little segue. Couldn't have done that if I tried. Both sides of the bed have household and USB plugs. The USB plugs over there look a little bit different. That is a mount point for a Drive portable Bluetooth speaker that is not included with the camper. I'll try to remember to leave you a link in the video description if you'd like to see and learn more about one of those, though. Now, this floor plan does have an Achilles heel, a bit of a hang-up, and that is the road mode traveling access of it. However, it is better than some that I've seen. With the angle countertop here, what you don't realize about that is it doesn't protrude out into the RV quite so much. And it does leave a little butt scoop boogie pathway where you could get back here. Now, the trick is, unless you actually open the slide a little bit, we can't exactly access the refrigerator. I don't think that counts as fridge access. I'm not going to say that does, but there is a little bit of a way out of Dodge here. This camper has a cable-driven slide system, and like a rack and pinion slide system, one of the benefits of that is it can be partially deployed without screwing anything up. Now, I say this all the time, like if it's raining or whatnot, you don't want to do this because until you get those bulb seals engaged by the slide being fully in or out, it's not completely sealed. It's just mostly protected. But if what you're doing is just getting to a travel stop, or if the RV is like being stored and you just got to throw your stuff in the fridge before you set out tomorrow morning, That you can do. You don't want to occupy and use the slide when it's retracted at all. It should only be actually used when it's fully extended, when it's properly supported. But if you need to just hop in real quick, you don't even have to stick it out that far. Just to give you an idea of how little we've actually opened it, the window is still fully inside the RV, so we've only extended it about that much. Not too bad. Probably enough to still stick within a parking space and not, accidentally hit the guy next to you or get your RV hit if somebody parks next to you.
Cause that's bad, okay? Like, really, really bad,
Now, in case you're curious, like you see on the nose, it says Cherokee, but the other campers that say Cherokee are sticking tins. Like, what is the difference here? Like, you can get a black label Cherokee or Grey Wolf. Those are still a stick-built structure. These right here, you actually do step into laminated aluminum framed walls, and you have that fancy looking nose cap up there. They are cousins to one another. They're not made by exactly the same people. They're under the same umbrella, as it were, just to kind of give you a little bit of the family association there. Now, one thing they do very, very well in these, other than just the really smexy curb appeal, is they give us a very good front storage compartment here. I think I could probably shove 2 or 3 of our salesmen in there, and the good news is with those slam latches, I could just, lock the door behind them, although you could probably finger push your way into there. If I'm going to be picky, I would really like it if maybe the battery disconnect switch were mounted up higher on that wall just to prevent cargo damage from shifting cargo. But let's talk about that charge controller. On Alpha and Arctic Wolf, the juice pack is standard. It's a simple 50-watt, little battery tending package. But one of the things that they have done here that I don't think they had always done in the past is they've bumped that up to a 30-amp controller. And that allows for some pretty significant expandability. Theoretically, I believe with that controller, and I need to verify my notes on this, but I believe with a little bit of aftermarket work, you could actually get this up to 500 watts of roof solar without changing out the charge controller or anything like that. By default, it's just a battery tending package. It's just going to help you keep the lights on and things like that. Nice awning space on this one, too. The door's right in the middle, room for a patio, and our outside camp kitchen is all nicely covered. In a way, I kind of like that they have the speakers sort of centralized back here. I know some people prefer them. Do you prefer your outside speakers spread out or on top of one another? I prefer them in one spot, and here's why. When they're in one spot like this, you can hear all of it. Like there's nothing like listening to your favorite song, like you're like, yeah, Freebird, and then that sweet guitar solo comes up. Except the problem is all you hear, because the speaker's all the way up there, and the only person rocking out to that is your neighbor. That ain't right. That ain't right. Everybody deserves Freebird. Everybody needs their Freebird. When they're in one spot, it's kind of like having a portable Bluetooth speaker. It's just localized, it's centralized. You can keep the volume to, I think, a more appropriate level, especially since these speakers are right down here at head level. They're not way up top where the only way you can hear them is if you crank it up to 11. At least that's my take on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I won't tell you my way is the only way. It definitely ain't a my way or the highway situation. My wife will confirm that. Simple, but effective little camp kitchenette. It is a little kind of dog dish style flip out sink. You could always take that out, maybe put a little wastebasket out here or something like that. I don't know, just an idea that I always have. The thing over here on the right, you've got a extra little fridge. Keep your drinks outside. This is an ice maker. Understand the ice maker in this RV might be a little different from what you see here in this video. And in case you're like, well, how do I use the sink? How do I get water in the ice maker? Simple little cold water sprayer port right here. It comes with its own little coily hose that you can hook up into there. As long as you got water, you got park power or a generator, buddy, you got ice, and you could always use that to just kind of do a little quick cleanup for your hands or anything. Down below, you might see that little blue line with a white flag whipping in the wind. That is the propane cooker hooker hanging off the side of her right there. On the back, we've got that cargo rack. That is actually an optional thing that we like to add at Haylett RV. It's got about a 200-pound capacity before the spare tire. Keep that in mind. But extra coolers, bikes, something like that, you're good to go. You've got the LCI Insight Bluetooth camera standard up top. So rear view camera, standard built into every one of these. And note that really tall window. Again, it really helps open up the space on the inside of the RV. Now, they did something here I think is really smart. They did a good job of this. On the face of the slide, behind the fireplace, there's a chunk of storage that otherwise just would have been wasted. It just would have been dead, wasted space. So they put a cargo door here. Now, it goes up a fair amount. So you might ask, well, why doesn't the door go all the way up? You open that door, you put it up too high, and you're going to have a real hard time reaching it. Speaking of getting high on things, up here on top of the slide, up on high, you've got slide awning prep, in case you're curious there. We are black tank flush and outside camp shower equipped. So you've got a cold sprayer on the door side, hot cold camp shower over here, next to the sewer hookups, as it were. And you see how we do have an enclosed and forced air heated belly. Now, a second ago, we were up front in front of those tires there. Yeah, up front in front of the tires. I'm such an idiot. Now we're back here, and you see there's a second sewer outlet. What is that thing? Well, for lack of a better phrase, that's a necessity. So you've got the bathroom basically all the way up by the front bedroom in this thing, and you've got a kitchen all the way in the back. There is not enough height in the belly for the bathroom gray tank and for the kitchen gray tank to be hooked together, basically, to drain into one spot. There's just not enough of a vertical travel for that to happen effectively. So you do have a front bathroom black and gray outlet, and then you have a separate kitchen only gray outlet back here. You might need to hot swap your hose. You might need to get a Y splitter, whatever works for you. I'm trying to get better about pointing out multiple outlets like that. I haven't done a good job of that in the past. Hope you appreciate the feedback you guys give. I'm doing the best I always can to put that stuff out there. That's also one of the reasons this one has a 75 gallon gray capacity, because you actually have two 35 tanks. So I guess you could say tanks a lot. So once again, brand new model. Please leave us your feedback. What do you think of this new entry in the marketplace here? Did they nail it? Did they fail it? What do you love? What would you change given the opportunity? As always, we leave you a link in the video description where you can check for pricing and availability. When you're ready, remember we're family owned and operated. We sure love the chance to work with you, and we don't do those pesky hidden dealer fees. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone. Man, I'm excited.